Hey everybody, this is Keith here of Euphoria Pictures. Welcome back to my channel. Right, so for this video I am going to be unboxing and reviewing the 4K picture for my latest pickup that I got for The Sound of Music. Now I have to tell you is I was very excited to get this in my hands, and the reason why I'm saying that is because I am a monster fan. Big time fan. As a matter of fact, it's one of those movies that was played almost continuously when I was a young lad, particularly during Christmas. Big deal over here at Christmas when it comes to the Sound of Music. So naturally I was excited to get my hands on this on 4K, because it is one of those movies that look great on every single format it came out on. And I was very curious to see what they can add in terms of 4K. I'll get more into that now very, very soon. But if you're not particularly aware of The Sound of Music, I can't imagine there's too many of you out there. But it stars Julie Andrews. She becomes a governess to these 7 children, the Von Trapp kids. And of course there is some resistance there when it comes to the kids. They don't particularly like her, but as it goes on they start to fall in love with her. And the same can be said for Captain Von Trapp, which is played by Christopher Plummer. Now, I'm almost certain, I don't know if I'm getting this wrong or not, but I'm almost certain I seen an interview, or I read about an interview with Christopher Plummer. He was talking about how he wasn't particularly a fan of this movie. And the reason being is he didn't like the way his character went. When you look at him at the start, you know, he's a bit of a mean, grumpy man. He has his reasons for being like that, of course. But as it goes on, he becomes a bit nicer, and, you know, he starts introducing music into his life. And I think there was a resentment there from Christopher Plummer with the way his character ended up turning out. And I completely understand, because if you have a vision for a character and it doesn't quite go the way that you want it to go, naturally there's going to be some resentment towards the movie. But like I said, I am a big fan of it. It was such a big deal to get this one now finally on 4K, and if there's a chance that you haven't checked this one out, I would encourage you to do so. It's just such a lovely, charming movie. Julie Andrews is phenomenal, but the entire cast is great as well. Everyone delivering on a performance, and the locations that you see in this movie are stunning. Really are. Like I said, a beautiful movie to just sit down and watch and just take it all in and just witness the magic that is The Sound of Music. So with that said, I'm going to take you around this release, and then I'm going to come back and review its 4K picture. I hope you enjoy it. Right, so here we go. The Sound of Music. So I'm not going to take up too much time when it comes to taking you around this release. But I just wanted to quickly comment on the slipcover here, because there's actually a nice bit of spot glossing going on. And it's mainly on the musical notes that you see there. All the blue has a nice bit of spot gloss, and even the flowers down below. Now, it's not on Julie Andrews, it's just on that. So what I'll do is I'll take it in close and see if I can show off some of that spot gloss. And again, I think you can sort of see it there now when the kind of light bends off it. And then of course you got the title there as well. 60th anniversary as well. Unbelievable, 60 years, incredible. So yeah, that is the artwork on it, and you know, it's not bad, it's not great either. You know, I mentioned about the locations in this movie. There's some amazing locations, and I think they could have come up with something a little bit better here in terms of the artwork. But again, I'm still very, very happy with it. Anyway, what I'll do is then I'll take us on to the spine of it, and I'm sure the spine is, I was going to say, I know there is a bit of a difference there. You'll see that the artwork has continued onto both spines. And then right around to the back we go. And then, of course, you've got the synopsis of the movie up top. And by the way, that spot glossing on them notes has continued onto the back here as well, which is nice to see. And then, of course, in the middle, you've got your special features. And I'm going to say that we're not getting anything new here in terms of special features. They all look very familiar to me. So I think they were actually on the previous Blu-ray. And then, of course, that is all your technical information down below. So that is the J card on this one. So I'll remove it. And as you can see, we have got much the same again. It is the exact same, yeah. So again, I won't spend too much time with this one. I think the spine is probably the same as well. It is indeed. And the back will be as well. There you go. So this is a 2-disc set. Up first you've got your 4K disc. And then of course your Blu-ray disc, and we got some different disc art as well, which is great to see. And then, of course, you'll notice that there is a few cards here, which I quickly want to show you. So, as you can see, it's a couple of stills from the movie, and the cards are actually very nicely presented as well. That's what I'm talking about when it comes to locations. Look at that, and wait till you see that segment in 4K. It's beautiful, it really is. It could be same could be said for that as well. So yes, you get, what, 3 postcards altogether, and that's the backing. And they're all the same. So there you have it. That is everything when it comes to this 60th anniversary release of The Sound of Music. Right, so on to the 4K transfer. So if you're familiar with The Sound of Music, you know how this movie starts. Shows a lot of wide shots of mountains and hillsides. They even show the town as well. A lot of the locations that you're going to see in this movie. Now, I'm not going to lie, when I was looking at them, I was kind of saying to myself, I just wish they looked a little bit sharper. It kind of just reminded me of the Blu-ray a little bit. But it's only when Julie Andrews bursts into song, she starts singing the theme to the Sound of Music. That's when it jumps in quality. And when you see it, my mouth dropped. Now, I'm not saying that the opening segment didn't look good. It looked great. It really did. But the difference in quality is quite staggering. And it's one of those things that you're like, okay, now we're in the presence of 4K. And it's one of those 4K transfers that you don't need reminding that you're watching a 4K transfer. It is very detailed, it is very sharp, and it's that way for the majority of the movie. It goes without saying, there is going to be 1 or 2 scenes where things look a little soft, but we are talking about a 60-year-old movie here. It has no business looking as good as it does. And I can tell you now, this is hands down the best it's ever looked. Chances are it's the best it's ever going to look. I don't think you can improve here. I really don't. The implementation of Dolby Vision is so welcomed. The movie has got a new coat of paint, and it makes such a drastic difference over the already phenomenal looking Blu-ray that we got beforehand. Like I said, it's a very sharp image. Skin details, skin colours are very natural looking as well. There's plenty of detail to marvel at, even on the textures of their clothing. Clothing in particular really stood out for me. I was like, look at it. You can make out every kind of thread and cotton and even the fibres that were just coming from it. It's just so much detail to marvel at here. But there is so many scenes in it as well where you see these incredible locations where Julie Andrews has the kids out. And you just have these big wide shots, and you're just sitting there and you're looking and you're like, wow, my TV's a window. That's exactly what it felt like. There's so much depth to the image. The black levels on this one looked phenomenal as well. Now, there is 1 or 2 scenes in it that do look a little hazy, but the thing is, these scenes always looked hazy. It's the scene where oh my god, it's the oldest daughter. I can't think of her name. It's just gone out of my head. The oldest daughter is meeting the postman. And they have their musical number together. Just look at that entire segment. There's just an element of haziness to the image. And funny enough, they go to the same location with Julie Andrews and Christopher Plummer around 2 hours into it. And it's the same thing again. It just has this hazy looking image to it. So that is all chalked down to source material. It really is. It's how the movie is meant to look. And it was there on every single format, and it's still there on 4K. But other than that, this is a wonderful, absolutely wonderful presentation when it comes to The Sound of Music. And trust me when I say, if you're a fan of this one, you need to check it out. Now, I watched this movie in Dolby Atmos. I was very curious to see what Atmos could do here. And when it first started, I'm not going to lie, there was a whole lot of hissing coming out of my back speakers, and I was finding it a bit distracting. But as it went on, I think it took around 20 minutes, and I noticed that the hissing started to ease off a little bit, and it wasn't as distracting. But in terms of the Atmos here, folks, I'm not going to say that it adds a whole lot to this. Yes, a lot of the music numbers now have a bit more presence to them. You can actually hear a lot of the instruments now coming out above you, which was quite nice. So one of the main reasons to why you would want to hear this in Atmos is basically for the music numbers. And thankfully, there is quite a lot of musical numbers in this one. Now, in terms of overhead, scenes when it comes to overhead activity, there's only maybe 1 or 2 scenes that I can really think of. There was a bit where there was a thunder lightning storm where the kids are all scared. The thunder, when you hear the clatter of thunder, that's all kind of coming above you. And there is one or two scenes where you kind of hear birds kind of just chirping above you. More ambient sounds than anything else, but do not be expecting too much in terms of overhead activity. And the same could be said for your rear channels as well. For the most part, it is a very front-heavy movie. But like I said, when the music kicks in, you're going to appreciate some of the sound that you're going to hear in terms of those musical numbers. And again, I'm not going to really talk about low-end bass here, because we are talking about the sound of music. But there is one or two moments in there where you do get a bit of bass, and it's deep enough. Again, nothing earth-shattering, but I thought it sounded quite good. But I'm not going to say that it's a drastic leap over what we got before on the previous Blu-ray, but I was still happy. Other than the hissing, I was very happy with what I heard in terms of the Dolby Atmos. Right, so there you have it. That is my review of The Sound of Music, and as you can clearly see by the video, I'm very, very happy with the results here. Great video, great picture quality, great audio as well, and what more can you possibly ask for? The best it's ever looked and sounded. So with that said, I'm going to let you go. So as per usual, if you did like what you see here, please do give it a thumbs up, and if you could leave a comment down below, and please share your thoughts on this movie. And yeah, I hope to see us all again real soon with my next video. Until then, I'll see you soon. Bye bye.